Recently, I had a word with one of my tester friend. So his name is Robin, and he's an e-commerce website tester. So one suddenly, when he was checking his website, like he saw something strange. Like while a person is checking out, the checkout button was not visible. So he got very frustrated. He and along with his development team sat and they decided to scrutinize what happened, like what went wrong. Suddenly, like there was nothing went wrong. Like he even checked the CSS file, he even checked through each and every kind of coding function and things like that, but nothing was wrong. Again, like he started thinking by himself, and like one instance, he came out shouting Eureka, like how Archimedes did. So what he figured out was like recently they had updated the website and some caches were also get got updated. So because of the cache update, the checkout button was completely invisible. Hello guys, this is me Sharad and welcome to the fourth episode of Coffee with Tester. And here we'll be having a conversation with the tester, especially based on Rohan's capabilities like persistence, creativity, and analytical thinking. So let's begin our fourth episode. So after our third episode went live with George Colbert, again, like we were having a lot of inquiries regarding sure we need to find a lot of Malayali kind of a tester, especially from Kerala and things like that. They need to know they need real life stories of Kerala testers and things like that. So we began searching for a person. And finally we found one interesting person. Like he was actually full on to this show. Like he was actually one of our QA Touch follower. Like he followed the entire content of QA Touch everywhere. And so as soon as I emailed that person was like replying back with an instant figure. So what happened was like I just got on a call with him and he was all ready for this podcast episode. And let me introduce you to Mohammad bin Salim, who is a QA analyst and he has been working in QA industry for past 4 years. So let's welcome this amazing person, this amazing community contributor to our fourth episode of Coffee with Tester. Welcome, Mohammad bin Salim. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Shara. Thanks for having me.
Just like thank you so much for being a part of this show and how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm pretty much cool. I know how to do.
I'm all doing sensational. Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
So, Mohammed, like I was actually having a kind of an ice-breaking thing, like where I don't know what to ask to you because I already know you. So it will be much better if you can explain about yourself to our viewers, so they'll be in a position to understand more about you.
Yeah, perfect. My name is Mohammad bin Salim, and I'm currently working as a quality analyst in Equipo Health. I have completed my BTech from SET College of Engineering during my 2021 year. From there, my career began as a developer in H&R Brook as a fresher. And there, my initial role was to be a develop the things and all. But my passionate and I am so much of enthusiasm is to know what is exactly happening over the application that is deliverable to the client side as well as the user. So later on, giving much more importance to the testing area, I worked in the UI automation, then doing the API automation, and currently I'm working here as the tester itself. Later on, we can discuss about my career, and as Shad mentioned, we can go on there.
Oh, Mohammed, so that was like a real quick and crisp. So thank you so much for sharing about your background. So from the word which you have talked, like I figured out like you started a career as a developer. So it's a controversy which is happening right now about like testers and developers. Like, why did you switch from being a developer to a tester? Would you be able to comment on that?
Yeah, sure. Like I was expecting that question. So, like for the last 4 years, even in my family, even in my friends, everyone told and everyone asked me like this question. Like I said, that starting from a developer or from a fresher point of view, why did you choose testing? Okay. So for that, to everyone, those who are asking me for that question, I will generally ask them, like in whichever field that you were working, that there must be a passionate point. So everyone can develop or everyone can test. That's one of the law. But coming to the point, if a person like me, if I am getting to a project during my KT sections when I was in a developer, each and every point from a developing standing point of view, they know how to interact what they build. But there must be a point and there must be a limitation for that. But from a product perspective to the QA, that person is responsible from the area of agile methodology, like as we follow. here the first day of the sprint to the last day of the sprint, not only the last day of the sprint, they will be combined to the next development cycle as like he is the person who should be a resilient person to challenge him to take up the responsibility to all the wings that is happening to the product. He must know the each and every door of the product. Because coming to the product, QA is the basic pillar. Without QA, that product not must be deliverable much more faster in the client side. So, standing perspective, starting with the manual testing and do some technical steps, it will make a person who is much collaborative work with developers. Once he know both, he must be super.
So yes, Mohammed. So when you said about like a tester is a superhero or a superman, like I can't completely figure out. Yes, a tester is a person like he does lots of wonders and magic. So like from a tester's point of view, let me ask you, it's like what is your favorite part being a tester? Like what excites you more to be a tester?
Okay, the excitement part of a tester about from me, I would like to say that for the last 4 years, I am repeating the things for a lot. Like a tester, if we ask a question like what is testing, the first primary thing that we need to arise question that we need to always think, we need to ask question like what happens like again like if we coming to my real life scenario and as well like if I'm talking to any of the person or if I am to my family members to my friends to the developers who are working in the DevOps and all, even if they came by bike or if I came by car, I always ask the next question: what if it is not happening right now? Then this negative scenario. So like that's the real life of a tester, and being some kind of it is a blend with the analytical thing and being a structured way of technical side as well. So as a tester, when we came to that area, all will arise a question like a testing is a small area, but we cannot assume anything before testing. So basically, once the development team is developing one of the thing, we as a tester, I am so much of passionate to get into the things. As a developer, they will do the analytical side, they will do the technical side as well. But from the testing point, there will be a lot of scenarios that is even though the developer might not be think that area. So that critical thinking is one of my passionate area that make me to test more and to enthusiastic more to more testing.
No, so that's nice. Like, so telling like a tester should have a basic critical thing, like critical thinking and reasoning capacity, where he should ask questions to whatever scenario he gets, and like he should be in a position to identify like what are the errors and what are the kind of glitches that can happen in a website or like whatever product. So yeah, that's a kind of a very good insight which you have shared. So like let's move on to the next question. Like obviously, like since you are so passionate about being a tester, like a tester should work in an organized kind of a platform, right? So what kind of a platform do you prefer? Do you prefer an agile? Do you prefer Kanban, or do you prefer like a old methodology, like waterfall project management?
Yeah, of course, comparing to the different methodologies for the years of experience in working in many of the agile projects, I prefer to work in agile because each and quick iterations from the agile and the regular sprint, we can have a regular communication with the product owners and the business requirements along with the developers as well. So in the sprint calls and the having the discussion, and there will be a lot of technical side and the logical side we need to explain, and we which may occur to touch over the legacy product the legacy area. So in that kind of area, we need to have a much more idea, like a quick deliverable should be happen. So I prefer agile methodology.
So as you said, like agile is something which has been used by almost 90% of the industry currently, because that has been a massive change, and it has been in the industry for only for past 10, 15 years, if I'm not wrong. Right. So when you talk about that, I would like to relate it with your current updates. Like how do you keep on or how do you keep up with the current updates in software testing?
Yeah, coming to the latest update testing and all, like we can have the conversation with the testers in the LinkedIn. Like we have a lot of organization that is using the testing as all open source, and we can collaborate with them. Like this one of my bucket list to do as kind of things and all. Also coming to that point, the LinkedIn and all, very kind of organization. I eager to attend the like us, you guys had the one of the global summit for the testers during the May. At that time, I was in the previous organization. and it was a great program, and it was one of the first offline session I was attending as a QA perspective. So there, from the Prashant as well, like I got a pretty much idea like how to implement many of the things that I didn't know. Like as a fresher point of view, I was so much passionate to do a lot of things. So that curiosity made me to think and from the client side perspective and all, which made me to do the automation skill as well, to develop the automation skill as well. So doing some kind of Udemy courses from the previous organization, and also I'm continuing the same in here. So at that time, I used the automation skill as well.
Okay, so when you said about automation, this question strikes me like I'm not sure if I am right in asking this question or not because there has been a lot of controversy which is happening, and I have asked this question in almost like all of my episodes because like how do you balance between manual testing and automation testing? And again, a disclaimer: there is no things called manual and automation, but just for your understanding, I'm just telling you like how do you balance it?
Yeah, exactly. Like the importance of manual and the automation is like the manual is the foundation. Like without any manual testing, we cannot able to automate any of the things in the current industry. Once like the automation is like we can able to execute the things multiple times. Like we can execute the deliverables, then we can integrate with the CI/CD, like CI/CD pipelines, the ADO, the Jenkins as well. Like as in my previous organization, I was able to do in the in-house API automations in as well, like in the UI as well as API, using the Postman as well. And currently, in Equipo, I am doing the like right now. I am just started the POC in doing the PyTest framework using for the API automation as well. So it is in the starting phase. So as like we are taking up the APIs and we are taking up the collections on the Postman, we need to have an idea about how it is functionally working in manual side, how it is being connecting through the entire application, how we can test throughout. Once, like in my focus area is like to cover each and every project that I'm working, like how it is a-based protected or how we can establish on and how we can execute the things over the security testing as well. So that's what my career goals. So we can integrate as like in the AI power testing and all, we can execute all the things right over here in this current industry. Okay, so let just like correct me if I'm wrong. Like, is it like security testing similar to penetration testing? Exactly same. Like using the verb suite during with the community edition, we can able to do the SQL injections and any kind of testing. Right? It is as well like same to the QA, but a QA person can do that also. So this is actually an era of OTT, and like everybody uses OTT platform. Like for me, I do have like Amazon Prime, I do have Hotstar, I do have Lionsgate, and I do have Netflix. So this is something a question with that excites me personally. I'm not sure like if the viewers might get interested or not, but this is something which I would like to clarify upon. So microservice is something which is used inside each OTT platform. So how a tester works in an OTT platform. Yeah, exactly. Like from the COVID pandemic, like everyone in this universe is like using the we are focusing on the OTT platforms as well. Like every person having the OTT platform like Netflix, Amazon Prime, everyone. So from the testing point of view, we might think as a user experience is the most important for the subscription side. Like as we mentioned in that area, different person will be having different monthly plan. There must be a yearly plan. So there should be have a security testing right over there. And once I got in touch with one of the my friend who is working in the cross working platforms like the Amazon and all. So I had a good conversation with him, and he mentioned about the different kind of testing that he's using there. Once a platform is ready for beta version or the current version is being released, the first thing that they need to make sure that the performance test needs to be there. So that application should not break, even if 1,000 people or more than 1 lakh viewers are using that. Let's say the Geo cinema and or like the Hotstar, we can know that the IPL is being streamed right over there in that OTT platforms and or in the live stream. Let's say like if there is a in every time there will be millions of viewers will be watching that. In that millions of viewers, even though if one person is getting any kind of glitch or any kind of trouble, that may affect the conception, that may affect the usability of the product. So that developers and the testers, we along with the product owners have the quick ownership for doing the stability of the product. As I mentioned about the millions of users has been used at a time, or many of the persons are using the subscription, and if a person is not subscribed any of the platform, that person should restrict out of the application as well. So all the things that need to test from the QA perspective using the different tools by the gas money tool, different kind of performance testing like as we use in the JMeter, many of the high level paid versions are there for the organization that is using. So different kind of that kind of organization should be able to do that kind of deliverables.
So now we had a lot of testing kind of questions and testing kind of jargon. So I think like you might be like fully exhausted and frustrated and things like that. So let's change our mood. Like this is a question which I asked to everybody, obviously, because we from DC Cap QA, that is a part of DC Cap. We are actually book lovers. Like we love to read, and we believe like the readers are the leaders of tomorrow. So based on this like which book do you read? Like any kind of a book?
Yeah, like I prefer the books that is came out from the challenges, like how to overcome challenges and all. So in my if I'm sure there is a book done by Phil Knight, about like it's a co-founder of the Nike. Okay, this the book named Shoe Dog, a memoir for the creative of the Nike. So here, like he mentioning about how much challenges he faced about the to establish a single unit for the initial phase as a starting area. And those like I would recommend to the viewers that will be following this podcast, like to have a time or more to read that book. So because if you guys are having any kind of issue like challenges, or if you think are having any kind of lack of confidence, that's one of the medicine, or that is one of the remedy for getting up of the challenges.
So that book is completely into entrepreneurial kind of a mindset, like how we can run a business at the same time, how we can challenge and tackle those kind of situations and how we can overcome it.
Exactly.
So I think like this will be a very good hint to our viewers. So right now let's move on to our next interesting part of our podcast, which is actually rapid fire round. Are you ready?
Yeah, exactly.
So as we did this rapid fire round, so I want you to answer in a very quick manner. So what's your favorite testing principle?
Boundary value analysis.
Okay, manual to automated testing.
Both.
Favorite testing technique?
It's like the automation.
Black box, white box, or gray box testing.
Of course, the gray box, the jack of all that.
Okay, so what's the most important testing metric?
It's like to know what to test. Never complete testing without having the request.
Favorite testing tool?
Postman.
Favorite automation testing tool?
Basically, the API automation along the Python that I do right now.
Preferred testing platform?
Linux.
So favorite testing library or plugin?
Like Alio, that is using Linux alone.
And have you used any AI powered testing tools?
Not that it is in my radar.
Toughest bug to identify?
It is not working in the production environment, but it is working in the beta.
Okay, most frustrating testing experience?
It's not at all challenging because testers or all the situations.
Makes sense. So how do you handle testing deadlines?
Like the always focus over the high priority things.
And biggest testing mistake?
Like during the API automation, it's like they are giving without the blank spaces, the automation is getting throughout the area and the data not just being failed.
And the most influential tester?
It's like James Batch.
Oh my god, nice. What skills do you wish you had as a tester?
Skill like to have a superhero to know everything and to compare everything and to have a conversation with the developer.
And what's your next texting career goal?
Of course, need to master in the area prefer testing and role.
And have you attended any testing conferences?
This is good. Many like us we mentioned the previous point.
So do you have any testing certifications?
Noted it is my current business.
Are you involved in any open source testing projects?
No, PH, knowledge.
If testing were a superhero, what it would be? Which superhero?
Like to take examples like X-ray to visible all the invisible defects.
Oh my god, it's too much. And what's your testing motto?
Like never stop testing and don't assume anything before completing the testing.
So how would you test a logging feature?
Like there is a lot of this sound coming to the rapid fire, like to the planning and
So what would you do if a developer dispute your bug report?
Like reproduce them in a completely sentence and to attach a screenshot along with the screen recording and to mentioning the environment it is happening along with the platform.
Okay. So what if you had only 1 hour to test a critical bug?
Basically, the functionality after 1 hour it is need to be deployed. The basic functionality is it should not break any of the real cases and it should be having a focus over the hyper-level things.
So do you have any favorite testing team names?
Things like the classical.
Okay. So that's with our rapid fire round, and you were like super quick. So it's very good. Like it was like even I enjoyed a lot because the most of the half of the question I'm not even sure about what is that, but you made me to understand. Okay, these are the things which existed. So thank you so much for your active participation in rapid fire round.
Yeah, thank you.
So when you were introducing yourself, like I catch a word called automobile. You were from completely from a machine background, like automobile industry. So why did you go in that way, and rather than going in that way, why did you come to a computer field, like software field?
Yeah, like that's a tricky question for me, but I can handle it very much cute because because during the COVID pandemic time, we were having the companies like the automobile companies, it is not being there due to the pandemic side. So at that time, during the third year, I was getting in, we need to do the projects and all. So at that time, along with one of my close friend, we were doing the project, which is like a pollution has been detected from the vehicle and how we can transfer it to the SMS like this kind of this much pollution is being occurred from that current vehicle. That kind of project was the embedded in the project. So at that point, we like from a non-technical background, I was like doing some of the easy components and I'm looking over the areas which is not even in my circle. So there it was like a embedded coding and the some kind of the language like the C sharp and all. So that thing strike over me to know okay what is exactly meaning for the coding aspect. So during the full time of the project, that person is the one who coded everything, and we were supporting the person in the technical non-technical side. Like we were doing the other steps like to manage the things in the pollution side as well. So I was eager to know, like if we were coming to in a place like we were working together, we need to know what is exactly happening at the product. So for the viewers, I'm saying like if you guys are having passion, like first of all, we need to know whether we have the passion or we need or we have that mind to came up with, or we can have a test like tester. Like let's have a test over there, like whether without coming to area we need to know what is exactly happening right over there. So that enthusiasm made me to know what is exactly happening on the technical side. So I prepared for the placement side, and that's how I hear.
Nutshell, the pandemic gave us a tester. Like here, like because of the pandemic, like he became a tester. So that's a very good, like kind of a turning point. I think like obviously wherever you go, you need a tester. Like even if you are starting a startup, you need a tester. In order for whatever projects you do or whatever products you make and things like that, because the testers are the first customers that you use the product, and they will be in a position to enhance the product. So as you said, so that's with all kind of a technical question. So again, I'm moving on to a non-technical question. Like, what are your advice towards the viewers about having a very pleasure time? Like, or like, what do you do in your leisure time and things like that? Like, apart from a testing.
Yeah, apart from testing, I usually I'm already having time for cricket, the badminton,
And who's your favorite cricketer?
of course the Sachin, and
Okay,
I
okay.
to hear the Rohit Sharma.
So have you been a part of any cricket club?
Not like we have some nearby house like center clubs are there.
Okay, great, great. So you
So
play cricket most more often.
yeah, like we find very time.
And you've been to any matches?
Not like I'm not much athlete over there, but
Okay.
having the like we have a passion or we can
Okay,
have
okay.
like always dream about
Yeah,
passion.
true, true.
So apart from that, I'm I know some kind of guitar stuff and all.
Oh, you play guitar. Nice.
Yeah, in some occasions. Also, like do some video editing skills that I got from the previous organization that I was being there in the for the PR team as well, the handling the Insta, Facebook stuff and all.
Okay, so we have a versatile tester, various curricular and things like that. So it's very great to know that you are into other kind of feature. I mean, at the kind of passions, obviously, yes, we need like a professional passion, and at the same time, we need a
Exactly.
personal passion as well.
Let's say real work-life
Yeah,
balance.
obviously, you need to have a work-life balance. So, thank you so much for sharing those kind of advices. So, finally, what advice do you have for our viewers?
Yeah, for it, I'm not giving any advice. Like I'm like a fresher being for a 4 years. So I am in my career always focusing some kind of stuff that I can give us an advice or I can give us a review from my side. So I always be bold to the things that we are doing. Like we need to came up with the challenges and in every project or every agile project or anything else or open source, any coding skills, we need to have a bold mentality to do the things. And also, if we are working in a team, there we must be a person to go to better to the area. Like we need to know what is exactly happens inside the team. And even if the challenges are has been there, we must be resilient to do the things and we need to back up the team as well. Also, we must be a quick problem solver. Like so each and every for we need to have a plan A, plan B, plan C, everything. We need to plan and execute that, from the testing point of view and from the development point of view. And we must update ourselves. Like we need to know exactly what is happening in the real cases. Like we need to focus over the if AI is enlarging, we need to focus on the AI. If we because we need to change up to I mean and we need to update ourselves along with this. So that kind of stuff we need to focus, and that's the thing I need to share with the audience.
So that was very motivating, and that was actually very good positive affirmation. And I think like this positive affirmation has been transferred to all the viewers who are listening and watching our episode. So with that, yes, so we are at almost to the wind up of our episode. So thank you so much, Mohammed, for being a part of our fourth episode of Coffee with Tester. It was so pleasure talking to you, and I think like your insights might motivate our testers, and like you become a tester from a pandemic, like let them make create an opportunity to become a tester or like to come into more into software testing analysis things like that. So thank you so much for being a part of our show. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Charles, for giving this opportunity to share the how a tester and how we can establish ourselves in the things and how we can came up with the challenges and also give. So thank you for me to invite me for this happy platform.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
So as you guys remember, like I started with the story of Robin, like a person, one of my tester friend. And right now he is encountering a 500 error bug. So will he be able to tackle it? So for understanding this, tune in to our next episode. And this is Sharath here, signing up from Coffee with Tester, powered by DC Cap QA. Stay tuned. Bye bye.